Welcome to the UW Plus classroom. Today, we will introduce Tesla Lightning soldering version. The materials we need include front panel. The front panel may vary in shape, depending on the style you have selected. Back panel, top panel, bottom panel. Compare the top and bottom panel length. The shorter panel is the bottom panel, and the longer one is the top panel. Left panel, right panel, PCB board, coil board, rectangular capacitor, cylindrical capacitor, foot stand screw, square nut, flathead screw, blue flathead screw, discharge needle, rotary switch cap, relay, tweezer, cross screwdriver, diagonal cutting plier, scraper, plug, Type-C cable, and soldering equipment. Don't be alarmed if you have some extra parts left. These are spare accessories in case you lose any. Before starting soldering, please watch our soldering tutorial and practice on the provided practice board to familiarize with the process. Soldering tutorial in on our site under Instructions tab. Next, we will introduce the component soldering steps. First, take out the PCB board and 3 rectangular capacitors. Insert the rectangular capacitor into the corresponding rectangular white outline on the front side of the PCB board. Use your finger to hold the capacitor in place. Flip the PCB board over. Cross the capacitor leads to ensure the capacitor and PCB board are flat and firmly attached. Then proceed with soldering. After finishing one solder joint, place the soldering gun on the stand and wait for 30 seconds before proceeding to the next joint. During this time, use a magnifying glass to inspect the solder joints to ensure they meet the required standards. Rotate and adjust the PCB position. Place the soldering iron tip on the outer side of the pin for soldering. Using the same method, solder the other 2 rectangular capacitors one by one. Wait 30 seconds. Wait 30 seconds. Once all the capacitors are soldered, use diagonal cutting pliers in the box to trim off the excess leads. Take out 8 cylindrical capacitors. Align the long lead of the cylindrical capacitor with the plus hole and insert both leads into the corresponding round white outline on the PCB board. Ensure the orientation is correct to prevent damage to the circuit. Use your finger to hold the capacitor in place. Flip the PCB board over. Cross the capacitor leads to ensure the capacitor is flat and firmly attached to the PCB. Then proceed with soldering. After finishing one solder joint, place the soldering gun on the stand and wait for 30 seconds before proceeding to the next joint. During this time, use a magnifying glass to inspect the solder joints to ensure they meet the required standards. Rotate and adjust the PCB position. Place the soldering iron tip on the outer side of the pin for soldering. Use diagonal cutting pliers in the box to trim off the excess leads. Using the same method, solder the remaining 7 cylindrical capacitors. Ensure the orientation and position are correct for each capacitor before soldering to avoid any issues. Wait 30 seconds. 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 Next, we will introduce the assembly steps. First, take out the PCB board and the relay. Align the black horizontal line on the relay with the white horizontal line on the PCB board, and vertically insert the relay into the socket. Take out the bottom panel, right panel, 4 square nuts, and 8 flathead screws. If there are block plugs inside the plexiglass panel holes, you can use the screwdriver in the box to poke it out. Use the scraper from the box to remove the protective film on the both sides from the bottom and right panels. There is no fixed direction for using the scraper. Use it according to your own habits. The side with the shorter distance between the edge and the fixing holes on the bottom panels should face downward. Note that, if the orientation is incorrect, the holes may not align easily. Insert flathead screws into the bottom fixing holes. Secure the screws with square nuts. Then stand the panels upright and lay them flat on the table. Adjust the square nuts so they are aligned with the edges of the panels. Finally, use a screwdriver to tighten the screws. The side with the shorter distance between the edge and the fixing holes on the right panels should face downward. Use the same method to secure the square nut to the bottom fixing hole of the right panel. Next, stand the bottom and right panels upright and place them on the table. Position the PCB board face up on top of the square nuts. Use flathead screws to align and secure the PCB board to the square nuts. Finally, tighten all the screws sequentially. Take out the top panel, left panel, and 4 flathead screws. Use the scraper from the box to remove the protective film on the both sides from the top and left panels. There is no fixed direction for using the scraper. Use it according to your own habits. The side of the top panels with the fixing holes closer to the edge should face downward. Secure the lower side of the top panel to the bottom square nut using flathead screws. Using the same method, secure the left panel to the bottom square nut with flathead screws. Take out 4 square nuts and 8 flathead screws. When locking the first screw to the square nut, do not tighten it fully. After locking the second screw, then tighten the first screw. Use flathead screws to secure the square nuts to the inner fixing holes located at the top, bottom, left, and right panels. Take out the coil board. Use the scraper from the box to remove the orange protective film for the socket. Align the black socket on the coil board with the pin header on the main board and insert it. Ensure the fixing holes are aligned, keeping the board flat. Press down on the 4 corners to ensure the coil board is fully inserted. Take out the front panel and 4 blue flathead screws. Use the scraper from the box to remove the protective film on the both sides from the front panel. There is no fixed direction for using the scraper. Use it according to your own habits. Place the front panel on top of the coil board, aligning the fixing holes. Insert the blue flathead screws through the front panel and the PCB coil board, aligning them with the square nuts. Then, tighten the screws sequentially. Take out the back panel and 4 footstand screws. Use the scraper from the box to remove the protective film on the both sides from the back panel. There is no fixed direction for using the scraper. Use it according to your own habits. Flip the entire casing over and place the back panel onto the 4 corresponding fixing holes of the square nuts. Secure it using footstand screws, inserting all screws loosely at first. Once all screws are in place, tighten them sequentially. Take out the rotary switch cap. Turn the switch counterclockwise to the off position. Align the scale mark on the switch cap to point downward in the middle position. Then press it firmly into place. Take out the discharge needle. Screw the discharge needle onto the socket located in the center of the front panel. Take out the Type-C cable and plug. Finally, plug in the power cord and connect it to a power source. Wait for the red indicator light to turn green. If the indicator light does not turn green after about 20 seconds, check whether the rotary switch has been turned counterclockwise to the end, placing it in the off state. Once the indicator light turns green, turn the rotary switch clockwise to turn it on. Test the functionality to ensure everything is working properly. The user manual can be found in the box or on our official website. Thank you for watching.